Captain Ibrahim Traoré, president of Burkina Faso, recently extended a heartfelt congratulatory message to Ghana's newly elected president, John Dramani Mahama. This comes after Mahama's decisive victory in Ghana's presidential election on December 7, 2024, a moment that marks a significant turning point in Ghanaian politics. John Dramani Mahama, a seasoned leader who previously served as Ghana's president from 2012 to 2017, is returning to office with renewed vigor and a clear mandate from the Ghanaian people. His presidency previously saw strides in economic growth and infrastructure, although it was not without challenges such as energy crises and allegations of corruption. His comeback symbolizes a second chance to steer Ghana toward prosperity, addressing lingering issues while building on his earlier accomplishments. What stood out across the West African region was the warm and diplomatic tone of Ibrahim Traoré's congratulatory message. He expressed his admiration for Mahama's victory and his hopes for deeper collaboration between Burkina Faso and Ghana. In his statement, Traoré said, "I extend my warm congratulations to President John Dramani Mahama for his brilliant victory in the presidential election this Saturday, December 7, 2024. I hope that his mandate as the head of the sister Republic of Ghana will see the strengthening of secular relations of good neighborliness between our two countries, and that together we will build a stronger and better integrated sub-regional space." This message is far more than a courtesy. It signifies a call for unity and cooperation at a critical time for West Africa. Both nations share deep cultural and historical connections, but they also face shared challenges, including terrorism, economic instability, and the impacts of climate change. This message to John Mahama from Captain Ibrahim Traoré carries profound significance, reflecting Traoré's broader ideological commitment to African unity and self-reliance. Since taking power in 2022, Traoré has positioned himself as a champion of Pan-Africanism, advocating for a continent free from neocolonial interference and prioritizing the collective interests of African nations over foreign agendas. Since assuming power in 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has emerged as a bold and strategic leader. Under his leadership, Burkina Faso has made significant strides in counter-terrorism and regional security efforts, particularly in the Sahel. Traoré's vision extends beyond national borders, aiming for a united West Africa that can collectively tackle its challenges. His message to Mahama highlights the importance of cross-border partnerships in achieving lasting peace and economic growth. One of Traoré's boldest moves has been advocating for Burkina Faso's exit from the CFA franc monetary system, a colonial-era relic controlled by France. His administration, alongside Mali and Guinea, has been at the forefront of transitioning to a more independent currency system, signaling a significant shift toward financial sovereignty for West African states. Traoré spearheaded the creation of the Alliance of Sahel States, a coalition aimed at strengthening regional security, economic collaboration, and resistance to Western military intervention. This alliance has positioned Burkina Faso as a leader in the fight for African-led solutions to the region's challenges, particularly in combating terrorism and fostering development. Under Traoré's leadership, there has been a renewed focus on developing local industries, agriculture, and infrastructure to reduce reliance on Western aid. His administration has championed policies aimed at empowering local communities, addressing youth unemployment, and enhancing food security. Traoré's government has made headlines for expelling French troops and replacing Western security partnerships with alliances that prioritize African interests. He has also sought support from nations like Russia and China, emphasizing partnerships that respect Burkina Faso's sovereignty and contribute to its development without strings attached. In 2018, under President Nana Akufo-Addo, a new defense cooperation agreement was ratified, granting the U.S. military unimpeded access to certain facilities in Ghana. This agreement sparked significant public outcry and protests, with many Ghanaians expressing concerns over national sovereignty. Notably, Mahama, then in opposition, supported these protests, aligning himself with demonstrators opposing the agreement. Under Mahama's leadership, Ghana stands as a seismic force, shaking the foundations of a system where Western interests have historically overshadowed African priorities. This isn't just a shift in foreign policy, it's a declaration that Africa is ready to reclaim its place at the global table and reject decades of exploitation. But what exactly sets Mahama apart? Let's dive deeper. Mahama's recent victory wasn't merely a political contest. It was a battle for Ghana's sovereignty and soul. At the heart of his leadership is a commitment to financial independence. For too long, Ghana has been entangled in a web of foreign control dominated by external businesses, loans, and aid. Mahama, however, has drawn the line. He's ushering in a bold vision, one that defies Western-imposed directives and seeks true autonomy. Ghana has long been one of Africa's most economically dependent nations, relying on loans, development aid, and financial support from the West. Yet, this system has perpetuated a cycle of debt and dependency, stalling progress. Mahama is determined to disrupt this cycle. His vision extends beyond patchwork solutions aimed at sustaining a broken system. Instead, he is focused on creating a robust, self-sufficient economy built by Ghanaians for Ghanaians. In his own words, Mahama outlines a path forward. To restore our nation and reclaim our status as the Black Star of Africa, we will implement sweeping governance reforms and, when necessary, make bold and transformative decisions over the next 4 years. This pledge reflects his intent to reshape Ghana's trajectory, positioning it as a model for other African nations striving for independence and prosperity. Ghana's decision to shut down all US military installations was not made impulsively. It was a deliberate action aimed at showing the West that Ghana is no longer a puppet and is reclaiming its sovereignty. The message was clear. Ghana's future will no longer be dictated by foreign powers. For years, the US had argued that its military presence was essential for combating terrorism and ensuring regional stability. However, Ghana refused to accept this narrative. The foreign military presence, which often appeared protective, but in reality advanced Western interests, had become a source of frustration for both the people of Ghana and the wider African community. When John Mahama assumed leadership, he made it clear that Ghana would no longer participate in this arrangement. The closure of the military base was an act of defiance, signaling that Ghana would manage its security without relying on external military forces. But the question remains, is this a sign of something larger unfolding? Ghana is not the first African nation to challenge foreign military bases, and this move could have broader implications for the continent's military policies. As Mahama's leadership progresses, will Africa finally take control of its own security without Western assistance? Ghana is not alone in this shift. Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali have also taken similar steps, signaling a growing trend across the continent. This is no coincidence. A continental movement of resistance against foreign military dominance is taking shape. Africa's rising sense of unity and desire for sovereignty are driving this resistance. African nations have been pawns in the West's geopolitical strategies for far too long. Now Africa is waking up and reclaiming its power. Mahama's leadership signals not just a shift for Ghana, but a beacon of hope for a continent seeking to rise above external exploitation and redefine its future on its own terms. Traore's congratulatory message to Mahama is more than diplomatic courtesy. It's a call for Pan-African solidarity. Ghana and Burkina Faso share not only a border, but also a rich history of cultural and economic exchanges. Their collaboration could set a powerful precedent for African nations uniting to address shared challenges like terrorism, poverty, and climate change. With Mahama's victory, Ghana has an opportunity to reassert its leadership within ECOWAS, economic community of West African states, and strengthened ties with progressive leaders like Traore. While Mahama's predecessor, Nana Akufo-Addo, often had strained relations with Burkina Faso, Mahama's inclusive and diplomatic approach could pave the way for greater collaboration on security, trade, and regional integration. Add your voice to the total liberation of Africa by leaving a comment in the comments section below. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more informative videos like this one. Let's proceed. The potential for collaboration between Ghana and Burkina Faso is immense. Ghana's ports can serve as vital gateways for trade for landlocked Burkina Faso, while Burkina Faso's agricultural sector can contribute to Ghana's food security. Additionally, both countries could deepen their cooperation through initiatives like the Accra Initiative, a regional framework aimed at addressing terrorism and transnational crime in the West African sub-region. The message also reflects a potential diplomatic reset between the two nations. Previous Ghanaian administrations under Nana Akufo-Addo had strained relations with Burkina Faso, with accusations and misunderstandings occasionally creating diplomatic friction. Traore's outreach, combined with Mahama's inclusive leadership style, could mark the beginning of a stronger alliance between the two neighbors. Traore and Mahama's partnership could be transformative not only for their countries, but for the economic community of West African states, ECOWAS, as a whole. ECOWAS faces significant challenges, including security threats, political instability, and economic disparities among member states. Leaders like Traore and Mahama have the opportunity to champion initiatives like regional trade agreements, shared infrastructure projects, and collective security measures, laying the groundwork for a more integrated and resilient West Africa. The economic community of West African states, ECOWAS, has faced criticism from Sahelian nations, particularly Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, for perceived shortcomings in addressing the region's security challenges. These countries have accused ECOWAS of failing to provide adequate support in their fight against terrorism and insecurity, leading to strained relations and their eventual withdrawal from the bloc. One major point of contention is ECOWAS's response to the coups in these Sahelian countries. The regional body imposed sanctions and demanded swift returns to civilian rule, actions that the military regimes viewed as neglecting the pressing security threats they face. This approach has been criticized for prioritizing political stability over the immediate security needs of the region. In response to what they perceive as ECOWAS's failures, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have formed the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, a politico-military coalition aimed at jointly combating terrorism and enhancing regional security. This alliance signifies a shift towards self-reliance and regional cooperation outside the ECOWAS framework. The departure of these nations from ECOWAS underscores the challenges the organization faces in balancing its commitment to democratic governance with the complex security dynamics of the Sahel. It also highlights the need for ECOWAS to reassess its strategies to effectively support member states grappling with terrorism and instability. If Ghana, under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, were to leave ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States, it would carry significant political, economic, and strategic implications for both Ghana and the broader West African region. Let's explore these implications. Ghana has historically been a pillar of stability and democracy within ECOWAS. A departure would signal a dramatic shift in its foreign policy and could weaken the regional bloc's cohesion. ECOWAS, founded in 1975, has been instrumental in fostering economic integration, trade, and political stability in West Africa. Ghana's exit could embolden other countries to reconsider their memberships, particularly those already critical of ECOWAS's recent actions, such as sanctions against member states like Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. John Mahama has expressed support for Burkina Faso's captain, Ibrahim Traoré, and his Pan-Africanist vision, which includes reducing dependency on Western powers and institutions. Leaving ECOWAS could align Ghana more closely with nations like Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea, which have adopted policies that challenge Western dominance in the region. This could contribute to the rise of an alternative bloc focused on African self-determination, potentially diminishing the influence of ECOWAS as a pro-Western body. ECOWAS facilitates free trade and economic collaboration among its 15 member states, including the implementation of the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme, ETLS, and a regional currency plan. Ghana's exit could disrupt cross-border trade, impact businesses dependent on regional markets, and isolate Ghana from economic initiatives tied to ECOWAS. However, leaving ECOWAS might allow Ghana to negotiate independent trade agreements tailored to its economic interests. If paired with robust alliances with neighboring states like Burkina Faso and Guinea, Ghana could still maintain strong regional economic ties outside the ECOWAS framework. ECOWAS plays a critical role in regional security, particularly through the ECOWAS Standby Force, which has been deployed to address crises and conflicts. Ghana's departure could limit its participation in coordinated anti-terrorism strategies, such as the Accra Initiative, which seeks to combat terrorism in the Sahel region. However, a closer partnership with countries like Burkina Faso, which faces significant security challenges, might offer an alternative pathway for Ghana to contribute to regional stability while addressing its own border security concerns. Ghana leaving ECOWAS under Mahama's leadership would carry deep symbolic meaning, representing a rejection of perceived neocolonial influence within the bloc. It could signal a broader regional movement toward redefining African integration on terms less influenced by external powers. This would align with the growing rhetoric of leaders like Traore, who advocate for a Pan-African approach rooted in self-reliance and solidarity among African nations. While the move might align with Ghana's national interests and ideological stance under Mahama, there are potential risks. Ghana could face diplomatic isolation from pro-ECOWAS nations or sanctions that impact its economy and international reputation. The move might embolden secessionist movements within ECOWAS or other parts of the continent, creating further instability. Ghana's departure might reduce its ability to shape regional policies and participate in collective decision-making processes. A decision by John Mahama to lead Ghana out of ECOWAS would mark a transformative moment in West African geopolitics. While it could weaken ECOWAS' cohesion, it might also pave the way for alternative alliances focused on Pan-Africanism and reduced Western influence. The success of such a move would hinge on Ghana's ability to foster strong bilateral and multilateral relationships with like-minded nations, while addressing domestic economic and security challenges. What do you think? Should Ghana consider leaving ECOWAS, or is its participation in the bloc too valuable to abandon? Of course, neither Traore nor Mahama faces an easy road ahead. Burkina Faso continues to grapple with terrorism and political instability, while Ghana must address inflation, youth unemployment, and other economic pressures. Yet, their partnership has the potential to inspire a new era of African leadership, one rooted in solidarity, resilience, and independence from neocolonial influences. Despite the optimism, both leaders face immense hurdles. Burkina Faso continues to grapple with terrorist threats and internal instability, while Ghana is dealing with high inflation, youth unemployment, and other economic pressures. However, their collaboration could serve as a beacon of hope for the region, demonstrating the power of unity and shared vision in overcoming adversity. As Traore and Mahama embark on this new chapter of collaboration, their actions could resonate far beyond their borders. In a region historically marred by division and external exploitation, their partnership symbolizes the potential for unity and self-determination. It's a reminder that Africa's future lies in the hands of its leaders and people, who must work together to build a continent defined by its own values and aspirations. Ibrahim Traoré's congratulatory message to John Mahama is more than just words, it's a testament to the potential of African solidarity. As Mahama begins his new term and Traoré continues his bold leadership in Burkina Faso, their partnership could pave the way for a brighter, more integrated future for West Africa. Can leaders like Ibrahim Traoré and John Mahama redefine African leadership and create a more integrated, prosperous West Africa? Tell us what you think in the comments section below. We explore the rich history, culture, and the ongoing struggle for sovereignty in Africa. Join us in this important conversation by subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you're not just staying informed, you're becoming part of a movement dedicated to reclaiming Africa's rightful place on the global stage. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Let's work together to spread knowledge and inspire change. Thanks for watching.